This video is brought to you by...
What's up, kings and queens? It's your girl, Charlotte Moore. As always, we give thanks for another day, you dig? So as the CEO and founder of Motivational More, we take pride in working with incredible creative entrepreneurs. And today, we are shooting a campaign for cool green clothing founded by the one and only AC Green. So the vibrational energy of this line is all about street vibes, a growth mindset, hustle. So today, we are highlighting this, guys, the Baltimore Cool Green Snapback. How cute is this? Look at this. So we're going to have so much fun on the shoot. And I'm telling you, follow cool green clothing. It's so important for us to support our entrepreneurs. There's so much talent in Baltimore. And as a creative entrepreneur myself, I know how hard it is. And I love to see just people going out there and going for their dreams. So let's get it. Bless up.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Hustling. It's a lot of people who choose to make some fast money by getting a product. Whether it's smack, sherls, pills, grass, it can seem like an easy way to survive, be your own boss, make way more money than you can punch in the clock, and live a lifestyle everyday working people probably wish they had. But everything that glitters is not gold. Growing up, my great grandmother used to get on me all the time about wanting something somebody else had. I might see a trapper in the neighborhood with a nice car, girls, money, and tell her that's how I need to be. She would always say, be careful who you look up to. You don't know what they did or have to go through for that kind of money. A lot comes with trapping. You have to almost be a CEO, market, promotion, accountant, inventory control, re-up, watch the competition, and in the streets, never even let your closest people know how much of something you got. A few pounds to some people might be light work, but you got wolves out here that target people they feel like is an easy lick. And even if it's just a few grams, to somebody with nothing, that's more than they had when they woke up. And watching who you trust in certain environments can be the difference between life and death. On this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will take it all the way back to 2016 to discuss a home invasion that turned fatal. In January 2016, 29-year-old Sierra Burley was living in a home in Northwest Baltimore with 3 other people. A 29-year-old man we will call CJ, and a couple, a young lady we will call Coco and her boyfriend Kay. Coco and Kay were trapping out the home to make some extra money, selling grass on the side. Around the way, leaving them interacting with all the people in the neighborhood and everybody knowing who to come cop from. Coco and Kay came up over time and had a nice little stash, hid in a Foot Locker bag, in a bedroom closet, and the rest in the shoebox. Sierra, who grew up in Woodlawn, Baltimore County, wasn't in on the action. Her roommates had going on. Of course, she had knowledge living there, but that was as far as that went. January 12th, CJ and Sierra were at home chilling as Coco and Kay were out for the night when someone knocked on the door. CJ looked through the peephole to see a familiar face, so feeling no threat, he slightly opened the door to say what's going on. Then he saw 2 more men. The 3 men pushed their way into the home with blicks in hand, instantly asking, "Where is that? Y'all already know what time it is. Don't play, kick it out, or we will shoot." Sierra and CJ were then told to get on the ground as the men started beating them and demanding answers, asking where the stash was at. But they didn't know. 2 of the men started searching the house as one held the 2 at gunpoint while they were on the floor. The men began to get frustrated after not being able to find the stash and decided it was taking too long and it was time to go. As Sierra and CJ laid on the floor, shots went off, hitting CJ in the arm and head, and which caused him to black out. Surprisingly, the man regained consciousness, realizing him having his hands behind his head when the shots were fired probably saved his life. But he glanced beside him to see 29-year-old Sierra shot multiple times, bleeding out. He quickly called police, but decided, being shot himself, he needed immediate attention. So he hopped in his whip, driving himself to the hospital. BPD responded to the call at 5610 Hatton Avenue. By the time they arrived, Coco and Kay had made it home and were outside the apartment crying and screaming hysterically. One of them even stating, CEO, that's why you shouldn't trust people. Sierra was rushed to a local hospital, shot over 6 times, including once in the head. Unfortunately, she would not survive. Back on the scene, detectives talked to the couple, who stated someone ran in the home to look for a stash. Police found 5 pounds of grass head deep in a closet and a Foot Locker bag. CJ was at Sinai Hospital. When he received the news, Sierra had passed away from her injuries. As homicide came to question him, he didn't have any rap at first, stating he didn't want to be no snitch, and all 3 men had masks on. But about a week later, after realizing his friend was really gone, CJ had a change of heart. He went back to homicide, stating he wanted to do the right thing and get justice for Sierra, picking a man out of a photo lineup he knew named Trace Hanks, who was 30 years old at the time. CJ told police Trace knocked on the door, seeing a familiar face. He answered, then the man upped the blick on him. He also pointed out another man they called Lily, but wasn't able to point out the third intruder. BPD went on a hunt for Trace, who was arrested a month later on February 11th. He was indicted on 9 counts of first-degree hit, attempt, firearm violations, home invasion, and more. Allegedly, no one but Trace was charged because he was identified as the shooter. As the case made its way to trial, Trace's lawyers approached CJ as he took the witness stand, stating what happened. They stated he did the shooting and simply lied on Trace, saying he left Sierra, drove himself to the hospital, also asking about the extent of his injuries, claiming he left to get rid of a gun. The couple also testified, claiming they were trapping out the house and a lot of people knew, including Trace. In total, 8 witnesses took the stand and testified in the trial, as Trace waived his rights to call the witness on his own behalf or to take the stand. Eventually, he was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison. Rest in peace to Sierra, who loved ones say was a beautiful soul. I did some research and found her last Facebook post on the day she lost her life, where she talked about how Obama was doing good in office and hopefully whatever was next could top that. I read comments of people telling her they were glad she got justice. It was super sad. I sent my prayers and condolences to her family. I know her friends, who she shared the home with, felt guilty. This young lady fell victim to their choices and their lifestyle. You should never hustle where you lay your head at. You definitely gotta watch who you trust and tell about what you are doing in the streets. I have seen dudes get took off for 3 files and halves. So in some people's eyes, they will hurt you for a few pounds. It's a sad reality that life is that cheap, and something that's legal in our city now has took the lives of so many people. Being cruddy always seemed like the wave when I was coming up, and when you wasn't on that type time, you was considered weak or not built like that. But being cruddy can also get you a life sentence. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Sierra. You know, I ain't gonna talk y'all head off about this one. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Definitely be respectful. You know, I send my prayers and condolences to her family. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. I appreciate you made it to the end. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.